Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm David.
And I'm Gary.
And today we are going to talk about...
We're going to talk about President Biden and whether he's going to add to the Supreme Court if he wins in November. Some people want me to say when he wins in November. I don't know that he's going to win November because we haven't had the election yet.
He's going to win in November. We're manifesting it.
I certainly hope he does.
Now, I thought Biden was there's like a fake Biden that's running the country. Trump is the commander-in-chief. Anything you want to say on that one?
No, I got nothing to say about
that. Good. That's the right answer.
I wonder if the fake Biden is hanging out with the fake Melania, the Melania body double.
Yeah, it's ironic. No, and I forget what was the other crazy stuff I heard that oh yeah, somebody was saying that Princess Diana is really like Melania or something like that.
Yeah,
oh no, she's the real mother of Barron.
Yeah, Princess Diana was the mother of Barron.
Oh Jesus!
And that Melania was just the caretaker. Yeah, we sort of blocked that comment.
I mean,
yeah.
Well, I'm sure Elvis was the surrogate father too. Come on, let's take this to its natural conclusion.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about, because there have been some questions.
Oh, we had a question here.
Yeah, the question's out in the chat. Will Biden add to the Supreme Court if he wins in November? So, I know the
yes.
Democrats would like to expand the Supreme Court. Kind of the thought process is there's 13 districts.
Yes.
And there's
9 justices.
There used to be 9 districts and 9 justices, and now there's 13 districts, and you can make a logical argument that there should be 13 justices.
This is hand waving.
And the way it would work is basically when a case needed to be heard, they would do a random draw of the justices, and 9 of the justices would hear the case that would come forth. So that was kind of what was my understanding of how it would work.
Oh, interesting. To quote Mitch McConnell, elections have consequences. The Republicans could have been putting in, another 4 Supreme Court justices, but apparently they never got around to that.
Yeah, they were too busy conspiracy theorying and trying to overthrow the elected government. So
now, the way I understand it, though, in order to do this, the Democrats are going to have 60 votes in the Senate. So, we're going to either Senate rules need to change, or the Democrats are really going to have to clean up in the elections in the next 2 not only this election, but might have to clean up on the next election in order to get this done.
Yep.
But let's go ahead and just look at the energy of it and see what it actually looks like.
Okay, so the question, will President Biden add to the Supreme Court additional justices to the Supreme Court?
In his second term.
Yeah,
he originally had written, if he wins in November, let's just assume that if he's in his second term, was this something that he can get done?
Yes.
2 of Wands is the foundation of the reading that is being done for entertainment purposes only.
Yes, indeed.
So planning, looking forward to things,
having options.
Yes,
it's got a couple options out there. Do we stay with 9 or do we go with 13? Let's look out in the future and see what that looks like.
It's like, if this is an opportunity, maybe we should take advantage of that opportunity. It's not like the Republicans play fair, and it doesn't matter if the Democrats play fair or not. The Republicans howl in protest no matter what you do, and there they are. the cross is Democrats. I'm lifting the ThinkPad up here.
Yeah.
Democrats, generally have this idealized notion of bipartisanship
and fair play.
Let's work. That doesn't mean they don't want what they want, but let's work with the Republicans and agree that this is something that we should be doing because it makes sense. The Republican Party has gotten to be a smaller party, so the only way they maintain power is by tilting the playing field to their advantage so that they stand a fighting chance. So if you were to logically say, hey, you remember X number of years ago when we went up from 8 to 9, it's because we had 9 districts. Now that we have 13 districts, we should have 13 Supreme Court justices, which the Republicans will scream and howl saying, you're not allowed to do that. But if they were to take over the presidency and the Senate and had a 60-person majority, they'd be all over it.
Absolutely.
They're kind of mad that they didn't think of it.
Yeah.
Or at least they didn't have the numbers to pull this off.
Exactly.
So that's kind of the thing. So the Democrats like to work with the Republicans. The Republicans don't like working with the Democrats, at least the current flavor of the month Republicans that we have in there right now.
Okay.
That can change in the future. In the past, we've got the moon card. It's people have been suggesting this for all of Biden's term,
Yep.
these 4 years, and it's not really. I don't think it's spelled out anywhere how to stock the Supreme Court. There's also a lot of pushback for folks wanting the Supreme Court to have term limits.
Yep.
Maybe you have a 10-year term limit. Maybe you can have a 10-year term limit and then be re-upped for another 5 years or something like that if you want to do that. But, some term limits so we don't have the Ruth Bader Ginsburgs dying in office trying desperately to protect democracy. Not even
Clarence Thomas is hanging on until a Republican president shows up.
Yeah, because Ruth Bader Ginsburg was at least legislating. Clarence Thomas is,
Oh, he's busy. He's got to pay for his vacation.
He's got a motor coach.
Yeah.
Current situation is the Knight of Cups. Yeah, the Democrats can float, or Biden can float this idea.
Yeah.
You know how well it's going to be received.
Yeah.
It's going to be received.
It's an emotional thing. Isn't it?
It's not going to be received well. But
let's see what the card says. Oh, it's the Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, the overarching energy is the Wheel of Fortune. In some ways, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. It's just sort of a question of when. Maybe he floats the idea past and somebody finds a way that you don't have to have 60 senators sign off on it. Or he comes out a way to do this and he can find just enough Republican senators who agree to it that that they can get this thing through.
Yeah.
There's lots of compromises you can have on this one. The lesson to be learned is the Ace of Pentacles. Negotiation.
Yeah.
There's
It's a new beginning.
It's a big push in values. If you can you can offer the Republicans what few Republicans out there, you can bribe the hell out of them and then they'll support you, or you can offer them other things of value.
Menendez, how's he doing?
Exactly.
He's got some gold bars that they might want.
Well, he is a Democrat, but yeah.
Yeah, well, you got to influence the Republicans somehow, right?
I'm sure Kirsten Sinema and who's that other knucklehead that could be bought? I'm forgetting his name, thankfully, but I'm sure it'll come back to me later. Don't add it in the comments; I'll figure it out. There are some senators that can be bought, but I think it's just also the negotiations of, you could just say that we're going to increase it from 9 to 13, and every 2 years or 4 years or something like that, we're going to add one to it. You can spread it out over time so that if the Republicans get the presidency, they can add them on there.
Yeah.
There's stuff you can do to make this work.
Yep.
Outcome is the Three of Wands. Waiting for your ship to come in.
Yeah, looking out to the future.
And then we got the World card underneath, which is interesting because the Wheel of Fortune is the progress. The World card is the conclusion. I think Biden will be able to complete this process in his second term. He may not be able to nominate his own person, or it's possible that in the third year of his term, he gets this thing done.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can nominate a Supreme Court justice every 2 years or something along those lines, such that you can churn them. Maybe maybe you add 5, and every 2 years you add a new one, and then at the 10-year mark, that first one comes off the board, and then the next administration gets to put one on there, so that every presidential administration has the opportunity to put 2 justices on there. Mm-hmm. So if you get a run of Republican presidents for 2 election cycles, 3 election cycles. The Lincoln Party,
okay,
the new Patriot Lincoln Party, or whatever they want to call themselves. Mm-hmm. It looks like this is going to happen. There will be changes on there. It's just how they're going to negotiate it. But it looks like he seals it.
By looking at what the cards that have been thrown, it looks like Biden will have some measure of success with this. What this is actually going to look like, that remains to be seen. That's probably the moon card right there.
The other thing to throw in there is he starts off as the Two of Wands, the planning. He ends as the Three of Wands, which is almost, putting things in place. So he may not be able to it could be his third year. He may not be able to nominate one. Maybe he gets it approved, but you start adding Supreme Court justices in 2028, and that gives the Republicans, it's not the Democrats just saying, we're in power and we're going to, nominate for Supreme Court justices, F you. It could be like, hey, we'll start in 2028. You have as much chance to win the election in 2028 as we do. And maybe that'll motivate your voters to get out and vote for you.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
I think that the Democrats would leverage the blue wave. If there's a blue wave in November, they would try and leverage it somehow.
Yeah.
Of course, then again, that might be enough for Justice Thomas to say, I'm done. I'm going to ride my motor coach off into the sunset. The Republican Party will have their chance in 2028. You never know.
I wonder if Martha Ann will knit him a flag or something like that to fly from his motor coach.
God.
Get a 76 ball, little American flag, and the
upside down American flag on the back of his coach. Oh yeah.
And the Begonia flag, whatever she's gonna, a little flag with flames on it and stuff, such things as that. Begonia. You didn't read that. You didn't watch my video on that, did you?
No, I didn't actually.
You guys should watch my video on that.
Yes. What channel would that be on?
Why? Thank you for the opportunity to plug my channels. No, Terror by the Bay. I did a reading on Martha Ann Alito a couple weeks ago, and the title of it's called Begonia with an exclamation mark because she wants to design her own flag.
Oh, right. Was that the phrase that she
yeah.
wanted? Oh God.
It's like lasagna, but with a V.
Begonia. I thought it was a flower.
Could be. Like a begonia, yes,
Yeah,
with a V.
Exactly.
Yeah. A victorious begonia.
Indeed.
Okay. Anything else we want to follow up on this
Yeah,
one?
let's do a quick follow-up on this.
Okay.
Since we've only wasted 12 minutes of their time.
Okay, I know.
We have to do much
We've
better
got another
than
18 minutes to go. What do you want to ask?
Okay, so if Biden is successful in this, will Alito and Thomas basically cut and run?
Let's ask.
Yeah. So
Okay.
will Justice Thomas and Justice Alito leave in the next 4 years?
Okay. Now, that may not be because this opportunity comes up, because there might be investigations into them too, but this opportunity could give them an out. Two of Swords. It sounds like they both have choices.
Yes, they do.
So Two of Swords is the foundational card. It's crossroads. It's decision time. Which one are you going to do? You're going to go left, you're going to go right. And crossed with the Page of Swords. If they leave, I think their concern is the Democrats are going to do exactly what the Republicans did and put some young justices in their place that are going to be there for the next 80 years of their life or something along those lines. Underneath is the Star card.
Well, they're the stars. They're the best.
Yeah, they've been there a long time. But it's like their star is fading. It's time for them to move on. And it's also the calm after the storm. If they step down, it'll probably be after the election and things are settled. Clarence Thomas doesn't want to do another 4 years of this.
No.
He really doesn't. And Alito may not be allowed to do another 4 years of this.
Well, not the way his wife's behaving.
No. In the past is the Chariot card. I think this is the investigations going on into Harlan Crow with Clarence Thomas and ethical lapses and other things that Alito has done. Investigations are coming in. They're folks and Page of Swords on the low energy is like spy in the camp. So there could be people that are law clerks for Clarence Thomas or Alito that maybe aren't as loyal, or spouses of those law clerks, or boyfriend girlfriends of those law clerks that might have information. The information come from any one of a number of people here. The current situation would be judgment. Yeah, I think there's going to be investigations, and there's going to be judgments. And now we're talking really high level politics here. We're talking top of the top.
Yeah.
So don't expect any of these people to actually face any like
a court,
a court or consequences or prison or anything along those lines. This is one of those. This is time for you to retire and spend time with your wife and your motor coach somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Overarching energy is the Knight of Swords. I think when the investigations are done, the decisions they won't be given much time.
Yeah.
It's not like they're going to get a couple years to make up their mind. They're going to get a couple of weeks to make up their mind.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, if you don't do it, we don't want to have the court case, and you don't want to be embarrassed by it. It'll be a spectacle.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could just go.
Yep.
We suggest you start planning your retirement now.
You have options. You can stay or you can go, and you need to look down the road and say which is best for me.
And it's also legacy at this point. You know, the Supreme Court's reputation is tarnished, but do you want your legacy taken down with it?
Yeah.
And the federal government will drag them through the mud, and they know they will be dragged through the mud. Will they come out on victorious? Sure, but at what cost? And is it worth the cost? Outcome is the 10 of coins. And talking about legacy, this is your legacy card. That's your legacy card there. You know, they might have to pay back some money, or they probably won't. As long as they've declared it on their taxes, they'll be free to keep. You know, if they got the lifetime supply of rice-a-roni from Harlan Crow and a new car, then he'll be allowed to keep it. Just pay the taxes on it, and you can have your legacy, you can have your new car, and you can just go. And then you can hang out with your wife designing flags and motor coaching around with the Thomases.
Yeah, I think those last two cards, the Two of Wands, kind of looking down the road, and then the Ten of Pentacles, definitely a legacy card.
Yeah.
They want to be on the right side of history, right? You don't want to
how far to the right?
Yeah, you don't want it ending like Giuliani.
Yeah, I know, right?
Or Mike Lindell. Well, I guess Mike Lindell.
He was never a politician, but Giuliani fell far, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine folks in New York knew about this guy the whole time, but for the rest of the country,
he was America's mayor, right?
Exactly. You know, he had this great PR campaign, and you know, he could have just ridden that to for the remainder of his days. He could have been just as dirty a drunk old man as he is now.
Yeah, we just wouldn't have known about it.
Yeah, exactly. He would have just had a really good reputation for the uninformed.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Poster children of the uninformed.
But no, he got greedy and he got burned.
Yep.
Icarus flew too close to the sun and his wings melted.
Yeah, in some ways, Trump fell into the same trap. You know, it's just if he just would have kept his mouth shut and exited with grace, a lot of this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't try to overturn the election, if you just accept the loss, and you don't take the stolen documents with you, or at least give them back when they're asked for, he wouldn't be facing any of these. Nobody would be going after a former president for this stuff. They'd have just said, just go.
Yeah.
We're glad we're done with you.
Yeah, to draw a sports analogy for any of you cycling fans out there, you know, Lance Armstrong won a number of the Tour de France's, and then he retired, and then he came back, and it was his coming back is what got him stripped of all of his wins, because they started comparing drug tests. There was always rumors in the background about that he was doping and that he was cheating, but they never proved anything. And it wasn't until he decided to come back for more that he got caught and got stripped, and he really got his legacy completely tarnished.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those things. Go into your retirement, walk away, and everything will be okay. And maybe Justice Alito and Justice Thomas will look at some of these historic events of recent history and say, yeah, you know what? Maybe that's the best idea.
And go to, Hobby Lobby and buy fabric for your wife so she can sew flags.
Yeah, exactly. All right, that's all I had.
That's all I got too. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting our channel. We appreciate it.
Please like, share, and subscribe. I read all of the comments, so please leave a comment. I am still awarding snark points. I gave a couple of snark points out there today.
Awesome.
Monty Python references are greatly appreciated, and they will be responded with an equal Monty Python
reference.
Quote, yeah,
exactly.
reference, yeah.
Start a whole conversation that way.
Exactly. We could talk in movie lingos there.
All right. So again, thank you everyone. We'll catch you on the next video. Take care.
Bye.